Hello guys, and welcome to this video on expanding single brackets. So when you see an expression written in this form, it means it's already been factorized and we need to expand it back out. Now remember, factorizing and expanding are inverses of one another, so it would be worth having a look at the video on factorizing as well, just so you can see the reverse of this operation. Okay, so if we look at what we've actually got going on here, we've got the 5 written outside the bracket. That's the number that we're going to multiply every single term inside the bracket by. So we can see inside the bracket I've got x plus 3, and both of those separately must be multiplied by whatever is on the outside of the bracket. So let's have a look at some examples of this. Okay, so looking at these two examples then, I can see in the first one, this is the question that I had at the very start of the video. I've got 5 on the outside and I'm going to need to multiply it by x and also plus 3. Remember to keep your plus sign with the 3. Similarly down here, we're going to need to remember that this is a negative 4 so that we don't get any issues with signs. So 5 times x equals 5x, and 5 times positive 3 equals positive 15, and that bracket's now been expanded. In the second one down here, 3 times a is 3a, and 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. If you always think of these terms as having the sign attached with them, then you can't make any mistakes with your multiplication out when we're dealing with negative numbers. Okay, here are 5 for you to have a go at. Pause the video here. They're very similar to the previous 2 examples. Hit play when you're ready to see what they look like. Okay, so the first one is going to give me 5x plus 15. The second one is going to give me 7 times a, which is 7a, and 7 times positive 2, which is positive 14. The next one, 4 times x produces a 4x, and 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. It doesn't matter switching to a t. 6 times t is 6t, and 6 times positive 4 is positive 24. And then final one, 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Well done if you got all of those correct. Let's have a look at some more difficult examples. So in these two then, instead of having a number by itself outside the front of the bracket, I've actually pulled out an x or a combination of numbers and letters. So let's have a look at how these two behave. In principle, they're actually exactly the same, and I'm going to do the same process as before. So I'm going to do x times x, which produces an x squared, and I'm going to do x times positive 5, which is plus 5x, and that's what that one looks like expanded. In the second one, I've got a 4a on the outside, and I'm going to deal with it in much the same way. 4a times a is 4a squared, and 4a times negative 2 is negative 8a. So again, just like before, we're taking the term that's on the outside and multiplying it by each and every term on the inside, and also remembering to include the signs so that I don't get any problems with the signs in my final expanded expression. Here are 5 for you to have a practice at. Combinations really of letters, numbers, sometimes both. Again, be careful with the signs. Hit pause and go play when you're ready to see what the answers look like. Okay, so in this first one, we've got 5x times x, which will give me 5x squared, and 5x times positive 4, which will give me positive 20x. The second one, I've got a times a, which is a squared, and a times negative 12, which is going to give me negative 12a. The third one, 4x times x is 4x squared, and 4x times negative 2 is negative 8x. The fourth one, 6t multiplied by t is 6t squared. 6t multiplied by positive 4 is plus 24t. And in the final one, 3x times 4x, well, the 3 times 4 is going to produce the 12 for me, and x being multiplied by x creates an x squared, and 3x times negative 5 is going to be negative 15x. Well done if you got all 5 of those correct. Let's just recap what we've looked at so far this video. The term outside the bracket is being multiplied by each and every term inside the bracket. Don't forget to multiply by one of those. Always make sure you're thinking about the signs of every term so that we don't get any issues with negatives. And also let's remember our rules of multiplying or dividing by negatives. Think about the signs. If they're the same, your answer is always positive. If they're different, your answer is always negative. And make sure you pay close attention to brackets when you've got letters on the outside, as these will usually create powers, and it doesn't have to just be squared. Sometimes we can get cubes, power 4s, power 5s, etc. Okay, hopefully you found that useful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.